I'd like to call this regular meeting of council to order at 7 p.m. on April 22nd, 2024. I would like to acknowledge it is also Earth Day today. Appreciate all the people in town that posted and were doing things to save our Earth today. I'd also like to acknowledge the work of our public works. They worked tirelessly over the weekend. Despite equipment failures, everything, they never stopped. They were worked all through the weekend and got the streets in very good condition. Today, I see they were working full force on sidewalks and that, so thank you, Neil. Please pass that on to your crews. They did an excellent job. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:15. I'd like to recognize that we are on Treaty 5 territory, ancestral land, Indigenous Ways Cree Nation, and homeland to the Métis. Next, I'd like an approval of the agenda. Deputy Mayor Valentino, Councillor Lundmark, all those in favor? Carried. Next, we'll go to community comments and feedback.
Ron Matachuk, 20 Ave Street. Back about 6 months ago, this council approved a resolution to spend $300,000 trying to get the aquatic center price down. I am wondering, did the citizens of Thompson get any value of that $300,000 spent?
I'll have to look into that one. I don't believe it was spent to get the price down. I think it was to complete some additional engineering, but I'll have to pull exactly what that was for.
Okay, we'll be waiting for that. Back in beginning of last term, Mayor Colleen, you said that it would cost $700,000 to keep the Norplex pool open. Couple days back on Wednesday, you everyone here actually unanimously voted for spending 61 times that amount what it would have cost to keep the Norplex pool open. I can't see that being good value for our dollars.
The 700,000, sir, was what was going to just keep the doors open, to keep it open that day. It was not going to bring the pool up to standard or anything, and we can show you information on that. Thank you, sir.
I'd love to see that information.
Okay.
Yeah, the engineering reports are on the city's website, I believe. So there should be a KGS engineering report that details the costs, the repairs, and the options that were available to that council at that time.
Okay, thank you. Any more community comments, Steve? Third time. Any more community comments, feedback? Thank you. Next, we're going to go to adoption of minutes. 5.1 is the committee of the whole for April 1st, 2024. Resolution 2024-050, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor McIver. Be it resolved that the minutes of Committee of the Whole meeting held in Council Chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Monday, April 2024, be adopted as circulated. Administration?
Nothing further.
Council?
Nothing.
Call the question. All those in favor? Carried. 9.2 is public hearing, document for public hearing for bylaw 2041 to 2024, April 8th, 2024. Resolution 2024-051, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Valentino. Be it resolved that the minutes of the public hearing for bylaw 2041-2024 held in Council Chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Monday, April 8th, 2024, be adopted as circulated. Administration?
Nothing further.
Councillor? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. .3 is adoption of minutes for the regular meeting of council, April 8th, 2024. Resolution 2024-052, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor McIver. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held in council chambers, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Monday, April 8, 2024, be adopted as circulated. Administration,
Nothing further.
council, call for the question, all those in favor? Carried. Five point four, adoption of minutes for committee of the whole meeting, April 15, 2024. Resolution 2024-053, moved by Councillor Chong, seconded by Councillor McIver. Be it resolved that the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting of council held in council chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Monday, April 15, 2024, be adopted as circulated. Administration,
Nothing further.
council,
Nothing further.
call for the question, all those in favor? Carried. Five point five is adoption minutes for special regular meeting of council, April 17, 2024. Resolution 2024-054, moved by Councillor Chong, seconded by Councillor McIver. Be it resolved that the minutes of the special regular meeting of council held in council chambers, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Wednesday, April 17, 2024, be adopted as circulated. Administration,
Nothing further.
council,
Nothing further.
call for the question, all those in favor? Carried. Next, 6.1. Going into resolutions, and we need a motion to lift from the table resolution 2024-013, and the resolution to approve the land transfer of 335 Unifor Drive. Do I have a motion to lift this from the table? Councillor Chong, Councillor Lundmark,
No. I would like to continue to table it as the executive director did not provide proper documentation to verify the commitment that we asked for our request. So we would like to continue to table it.
okay, I'm going to ask how to proceed.
So in this procedure, if there's a motion that's duly passed, then you could debate it at that time.
Okay,
So if there's a mover and a seconder, it'll come forward. If not, and then you would debate at that time. And you could retable it, but you can't vote now. You'd have to make a vote to motion. So you could discuss it.
All right, Deputy Mayor.
I'd like to make a motion to lift the table.
Okay, and a seconder. Councillor Lundmark, go ahead. Deputy Mayor Valentino, moving to bring the motion, resolution off the table, and Councillor Lundmark seconded. All in favor? Opposed?
Yeah.
Carried. Council 6.2 is the resolution to approve the land transfer 335 Juniper Center. Resolution 2024-013, moved by Councillor Chong, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Be it resolved that council approve the transfer of land legally described as follows. The city of Thompson is a registered owner subject to such entries recorded herein in the following described land. At Thompson and herein lot 1 plan 5074 APLPO, and all mines, minerals, and other matters to be set out in the Crown's Lands Act on 78 WPM-3 in Thompson Neighborhood Renewal Corporation for the sum of $26,083.13. I'll go to administration.
Yeah, so this has been brought forth in front of council several times now with a request for additional information. It's now council's chance to debate it once more. I believe that we brought more information at the last meeting. If council wants to put forth a motion now to read it, or council vote to pass or defeat it. The administration would recommend that a vote happen to pass or defeat it, just to bring some certainty to this, because if it's going to be defeated, then it would end up in tax sale, I believe. And that, we'd have to get that process moving along. If council's gonna approve it, then we would get moving on the land transfer. But it would give the admin some certainty on where council wants to go.
Councillor Chong is mover.
As I mentioned many times, that we just want to request the documentation that to verify the commitment. But from time to time, we do not see the proper documentation. This is the reason that I would like to table it, but it all depends on other council.
Anthony,
I've just asked for clarification, councilor, which documentation, if
The
you're.
documentation is the commitment, how they're gonna pay for it, because we're giving them so much opportunity to come forward and give us that documentation from how they're gonna settle this what do you call that, the money that are owed to the city.
Anthony,
Yeah, so council, we normally use that standardized tax sale agreement. As council's noted, the interest rates are very high and it'd be difficult to pay on that, but that is the document that's based on the interest rate that we are required to use through city, I believe it's city's policy. Sorry, by bylaw? By bylaw, so we're required to use that interest rate. How a person decides to pay it off is up to them. If they breach the agreement that one time, they're no longer allowed to have an agreement, and they would end up in tax sale if they were in breach.
According to your answer to us, when you say this is a what standard, what do you call that, template or something like that, but on the template, it does have the person that signed on the documentation. We didn't even know who it is, but how do we go in future if something go wrong?
Anthony,
The executive director's signatures are binding of their corporation. I suppose that there's something that we could change on that document, having the name is typed in. We can always bring that forward, but it is, because the way it's signed, it is binding on them. They will have their corporate documents that signature would match.
That's what I'm asking for, but nothing happened, nothing to show us.
I don't quite understand, so if, in this case, Oswald Slaw is the executive director. If he signs this agreement, it is binding, even if he's not, if it moves on and somebody else is executive director down the road, his signature on this thing is still binding. So then if they didn't make their payments, it would then come back to the city and get reset up for tax sale. Councilor Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to see this move forward for a couple of different reasons. One, until we sign the land transfer agreement, they can't pay their taxes and they can't move forward. And if we don't move forward with the land transfer, now the land goes back to the city, and if something does happen to it, now we're liable for whatever goes on there. So for that reason, I'd like to see it move forward, and that way they can move ahead with completing the project and paying the taxes.
And I apologize, Councilor Wong had his hand up first.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
It's okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a few questions. Number one, this is the flow-through funding to this Thompson Renewal Corporation, Neighborhood Renewal Corporation, right? From the what you call the prevention homelessness strategy. Is that part of the funding?
Anthony?
Part of their funding comes from Reaching Home, is my understanding, that they're using those funds to do some of the renovations to the property. So that would be the flow through from the federal government's Reaching Home program.
Okay. My second question is, since that the flow through funding, did the government of Canada know that this property owes $56,000 of tax sale?
Yeah, I highlighted it when they were in their meetings. I'm an ex officio in that meeting, so I can't vote. But I did let them know that there were issues with that property. That was actually one of the reasons they wanted to fund it, to get it back into use as affordable housing. Because they recognized that if it wasn't repaired, it would be taken out of the market and go to tax sale, likely demolished.
That wasn't my question, Madam Mayor. My question is, did they know that all tax sale?
Yeah,
That's what I just said.
He made
So,
note of it in the.
Can we skip all this argument, skip all this agreement? Can we just take the $56,000 when they flow through and pay off, so stop the bleeding and whatever remaining flow it to them? So case closed. Why are we dragging this problem? Hopefully they pay back, hopefully they get the loan, hopefully they can pay the tax. Why are we doing this?
Locals are for very specific projects, and the funding comes attached to different stipulations.
So hypothetically say, let's say this project failed, they cannot pay back based on the commitment, they say $500 a month. And the tax is, the interest is 1.25% that in the bylaw we're charging. So the interest alone is about $703 the first month. And you keep going, that means they're owing $203 in the first payment, and then on and on. 10 years later, the amount is going to be almost $100,000. Maybe at that time they say we totally cannot afford. So now, I don't think the government want to flow the money to see the project fail. So I think somehow we have to have a conversation. Maybe I should make a phone call to them directly and ask the question, because it's no brainer to me. There's a flow through funding. They owe the money. Let's get the money out so they stop the bleeding, so they can continue the project and transfer the land. Case closed. But why are we doing so much of step to help them out? I don't see other people will get that privilege and ask for 10 years of repayment, plus we pay less than the principal we owe. And God knows, hopefully 10 years later, things go away. Seriously, I really don't understand this part, Madam Mayor.
Anthony?
Yeah, so Reaching Home and federal funding has what are eligible expenses and what are not eligible expenses. Using Reaching Home dollars to pay taxes is not an eligible expense. So that is something that they would not approve. They would approve its use for capital. They would approve its use for upgrades. In certain cases, they approve for staffing and support services. But in terms of paying off a municipal tax or a bill like that, they would not approve that. So I believe what they said the plan was when they made the presentation is they would use it towards the capital of the building. They would then go to a bank, get the loan that's at a lower rate, use that to pay the taxes, and then they would pay off their bank loan at a much lower interest rate to move their project forward.
May I just say one more time, Madam Mayor? Even though I agree with that concept, this is the homeless, prevention of homeless strategy. So how much rent you can charge for the people? Nowadays, like $1,200 or $1,600 is a lot already to a lot of homeless people consider. So how they can accumulate the money? I'm talking about number. How can they accumulate the money to pay back the loan, whether the loan from us or the loan from the bank? Like, I really don't know. I try to see so many scenarios to help out this situation. But again, I cannot buy it because of how much you're going to charge. The reason they say we can rent it out, right? After we renovate, we can rent it out, accumulate money, so we can able to generate revenue to pay for the loan payment or pay us back, whatever. That part I really not going into it. But you look at the reality, how much money they can charge to make the money, besides they have to pay the interest to us, and what you call the property tax. In the agreement say they must update to the property tax. Plus, there might be a consequences. The water bill might be high. So after you deduct all that, insurance and all that, I don't see a lot of money left to pay the mortgage payment. So anyway, it's not my problem, but I'm just saying, as a council, I think I have a duty to make sure this project is successful. So I look at it, it's failed. It's going to fail. We just try to drag and give them an opportunity to see where is another light in the tunnel so they can grab it. But at this moment, when I look at all the number, we will not feasible to get this payback to us or to the bank. And I don't know why the government of Canada willing to flow the money for this project. Maybe they don't know they're owing this money. All they worry about is like helping the project. But that part is missing, I believe.
They do know.
That's my opinion, by the way. That's my
They do
argument.
know the money, and even the folks that will be supported that are going into this, there's different programs to get folks into housing and that, so. Basically, that's not for us to decide, we're here to decide whether we want to let them try and make this GOVA project, or if it's gonna go back to tax sale and we could end up with $5,000.
Why we go through all this and then go back to tax sale again?
Well,
This has not happened today or yesterday, 2016 or whatever, so many years. Why didn't bring it up to today? That problem can be solved way before 56,000 rise. So why are we have to be stressed out
Okay.
or argue about it?
Okay.
Will I get blamed about not supporting the resolution? This should be solved way before us. Our job is flow the money through, let it happen.
This is a council decision, not just your decision, so we will talk and go through. Is there any other councillors that wish to speak? Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Smith. I think Councilor Fitzpatrick summed it up exactly right. If we don't move this project forward, then just nothing's gonna ever happen. It's not for us to say, oh, the government funds and not funds projects. That's up to them, not to us to make those decisions. Our city manager made it perfectly clear that he did itemize that so that they are aware of this being outstanding taxes. So I'm fine with this, how many times it's gone back and forth. I'm fine that they came with us and brought forth their own discussions to us, and I'm fine with like, let's move this forward, transfer the land. I mean, that's the first step. So let's get it off of our books and let them be the owners of the land. That's what should have happened many years ago. So I'll be supporting this as is.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Lamar.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be supporting this resolution so we can move forward. This resolution and the plan by TNRC is at least a plan to reconcile the tax in the past and move forward with taxes on this site in the future. It helps us with one unit of towards our strategy. And if we don't allow the organization to move forward, we would just be writing off the tax. Through the tax then. So at least this is a hope to move forward and help us with our strategy as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, call vote for the question.
Mayor, record a vote, please.
Okay. Requested by Councillor Wong, we're gonna call for the question, and all those in favor? Councillor Landmark, Deputy Mayor Valentino, Mayor Scoop, Councillor Fitzpatrick, Councillor McIver. Opposed? Councillor Wong and Councillor Trump. It is carried.
Mark what I say today.
6.3 is a resolution approving the waiving of fees for United Steelworkers Local 6166 hockey tournament. Resolution 2024-055, moved by Councillor Wong, seconded by Councillor McIver. Whereas the United Steelworkers Local 6166 will be hosting a hockey tournament on April 15th to the 19th, 2024. And whereas the USW Local 6166 have requested the city of Thompson waive 50% of the fees associated with the rental of the CA Nesbitt Arena. And whereas at the April 15, 2024 Committee of the Whole meeting, Council reviewed the request and recommended 50% of the fees associated with the rental. The CA Nesbitt Arena is waived as per the waiving of fees policy. Now therefore be it resolved that Council waive 50% of the fees associated with the rental of the CA Nesbitt Arena for the 2024 USW Local 61-66 hockey tournament at a cost not to exceed $1,044.27. Administration.
And so as mentioned, this was brought up at the last committee, the whole meeting was reviewed by the committee and recommended that it be brought forward to a resolution tonight.
Councillor Wong?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm wondering this letter when they came in, because there's no date from USW 6166.
I don't have a date. All I know is it was brought in the week before the committee, of the whole meeting. So to get it on the agenda, recognizing that the tournament was already about to happen.
So if I hear you right, this letter came in a week before the committee at all.
That would be my understanding, though I can't confirm that. Normally at City Hall, we stamp letters when we receive them.
The reason I asked the question is very important. Because I totally agree with the deputy mayor's mention that they provided they follow the rule. So let me read this rule. Back in December 11, 2023, Resolution 2023-179, the waiving and the fee policy. Under the section about the following condition will apply for organization being considered for waiving of fee, section 3 there. The request is made no less than 60 days prior to the meeting or the event. If requests not met within the 60 days, the request may not be accepted. So that's why I need to know the date. If it's between the 60 days, I don't think we need to entertain this. Otherwise, I think we could talk about it.
Anthony?
Yeah, the council is correct. That's what it looks like the policy says. I can't confirm what date that letter was received.
So does that mean you will verify the date or just based on whatever document in front of us?
I have no further documents than what's in front of you, so I can't verify that to you.
So, okay then, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments? Councillor Song?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to abstain the vote for public perception because I'm still a member of the union. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Deputy Mayor Valentino?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Smook. I have no problem with this since we discussed it at committee as a whole and it was fine then. So the tournament has now already taken place and it's been very successful from my understanding. Valley lost against the city, from what I hear too, sorry about that. But so yeah, I'm gonna support this. If there's an issue with when the date was in and this is an annual event, perhaps there needs to be communication with them now so that they're aware of policy if they didn't follow the 60 days for next year's event. But thank you for them hosting it, and I know it's been very well received down there.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor, Councillor Wong?
I'd like to ask for a recorded vote, please.
In a recorded vote, as per Councillor Wong's request, all those in favor? Councillor Lundmark, Deputy Mayor Valentino, Mayor Smook, Councillor Fitzpatrick, Councillor McIver. Please note that Councillor Chong abstained as an employee of Ballet. Opposed? This carries.
No.
6.5 is a resolution to approve the tabulation of prices of cold patching material. Resolution 2024-056, moved by Councillor Wong, seconded by Councillor McIver. Be it resolved, the council approve the recommendation of the purchasing department and award the tender for supply of granular material the next 4 years to Asa Patch Trucking for a total of $958 or $958,172.50 plus applicable taxes as per tender file number 10324. Administration.
Yeah, this is pertaining to a tender that closed on April 9th. It was for the supply of granular material for the city. The granular material is used for road repair, water breaks, remediation, and trail maintenance, and etc. The tender was released on Merck's. We had 2 bidders. Asa Patch Trucking is the lead proponent for this tender. And we have been using the same company for the last multiple years, and this will take us through to 2027.
Thank you. Councilor Wong is mover, any comments?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a few questions. Number one is, so are we gonna budget $958,000 to the budget, because this operation budget, operation expense, right? So are we gonna put in a budget for $958,000 in the book?
Lynn?
As this is over a 4-year period, we would break it down in each year to the 200 and whatever thousand of this per year in the operating budget.
My question is, are we gonna put that amount divided into 4 years for $958,000?
That's correct.
May I?
Yeah.
But the tender came back is $358,000. So average is about, I say about 90,000 a year. So are we over budget over $1,000 every year?
So that was the average for the last contract. Prior to that, I'm sure we spent close to what the actual plans were. It all depends on the year that we have. I can't predict what the water rates are gonna be next year or the weather that we get, but ground maintenance that's required. So we have to make sure that we have enough in there. So we have require a lot of rain on materials, again, I'm gonna rush back to local rules and then.
Thank you.
We do respect, I do understand that part, for in case something more, that you need more. But to me, you say that it's gonna be average about this, but we over budget over like $400,000. I can't see you over, because I can't see you over that much, even though you have a little bit more water break. But we already have over 10 years of data about how many water break a year. That's already consistent. So I don't see there will be outrageous out of certain for the next 4 years, because I base on the data that provided by the administration. So my concern is when we budget over 100% more, so at the end, there will become a surplus. There's a lot of surplus to the what you call the reserve, because this is direct impact to our tax. This is the operation expenses. So that's why I like to see if we can adjust the number for budgeting, not $958,000. To me, that's a lot over than what estimated.
Okay. Any other comments? Councilor Lombard.
But we'll deal with that in the budget, I presume, and we'd be budgeting 239,000 annually, which we change as it goes, right? But for this point, it's just for this resolution, I agreed to support this resolution for the contract that's in front of us.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah,
Councilor Fitzpatrick.
yeah, I'd like to, so the contract is for 58,000, so why are we wanting to go with 958?
So the 358 is an average of what we spent over the last few years.
Right,
The 958 is the estimated quantities that we have in our tender. Require one parameter. We only pay for what we receive, so don't pay 958,000. We get $358,000 worth of material. But we have actually quantities in there for extra work if there is work that needs to be.
Thank you. Councilor Charles.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For example, any of this over budget or money that we don't use, are they going back to our reserve?
Yes. Goes back to the reserve.
Is it go back?
Yeah, and then basically that your reserves are what has bought the equipment and that, like it's all put to good use for the city. if it does end up back in the reserves.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Council Wong.
Thank you, Madam. I also understand this budget for, you only pay what you use. But my concern is we are way over budget. You know, like 1% is over $100,000+ in the tax. So if we over budget 400,000, we talk about 4%, that we can look into not tax. Right? So I understand the budget. This is my 9th budget already. So that's why I want to bring this up to let the person that might be not quite sure yet to see what is this operation expenses, direct impact our budget, our tax. So in this based on the chart, okay, it shows it's only 358 that estimated by for the last few years to 2027. I would say put a little bit more, but not overly more. So that's why very important when before we approve something, we need to know the money, how we're going to spend the money, how we're going to save the money. This is one of the examples I just pointed out. We don't need to budget $958,000 for the material we're going to use for the next 4 years. Right? I also understand we don't pay when we don't use. All this I totally understand, but I don't see we need to budget that amount. So I strongly suggest not to budget the $958,000 because it's direct impact to our tax. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Dr. Hummer?
Thanks, Commissioner. So, the 958,000 is the maximum financial implication for this tender, for the 4-year tender. We pay as we use, we budget on a year-to-year basis. I'm supporting this so we can get this going for this tender, so we can have stuff available. Thanks.
Thank you. Council Wong.
Record the vote, please.
In a recorded vote, for Council Wong, who's in favor of this resolution? Councilor Lamarck, Deputy Mayor Valentino, Mayor Smoot, Councilor Fitzpatrick, Councilor Muscaiber. Opposed? Councilor Wong, Councilor Kelly. It is carried. Six point five is a resolution to approve the tabulation of prices for coal patching material. Resolution 2024-057, moved by Councilor Fitzpatrick, second by Councilor Lamarck. Be it resolved that council approve the recommendation of the purchasing agent and award the purchase of coal patching material to Western Asphalt Products for the tendered price of $147,853 with additional taxes as per tender file number 10424. Administration. No.
As this is a tender that closed on April 16th. Posted on first. For the supply of our cold mix material, which is used for pothole repair. We received one bidder, which is Western Asphalt Products, been a supplier for multiple years now. Very happy with the product, prices are there for your review and consideration.
Thank you. Councilor Fitzpatrick, did you move? Any comments?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Comments from council? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Six point six is a resolution to approve sponsorship for the Thompson Seniors Community Resource Council. The city of Thompson to sponsor a meal for the upcoming annual Seniors Resource Coordinator Conference. Resolution 2024-058, moved by Councilor Chong, seconded by Councilor McIver. Whereas the city of Thompson is committed to providing a superior quality and unlimited opportunities for all people. And whereas the Thompson Seniors Committee Resource Council is hosting an annual conference for seniors resource coordinators, which will provide coordinators with information on how to better serve our seniors and elders. And whereas the Thompson Seniors Community Resource Council is requesting that the city of Thompson sponsor a meal for the conference, now therefore be it resolved that council approves sponsorship of a supper at a cost not to exceed $2,500 that will be that will be borne out of the grants to organizations account. Administration.
So the city's in receipt of a letter from the Thompson Seniors Community Resource Council. They also appeared as a delegation at the last committee of the whole meeting. The request is in front of council for some sort of sponsorship. And it's the first time that this conference will be held in Thompson with an expectation of between 60 to 70 delegates attending. There's different selections that can be made by council. The one that the administration put forth after hearing the discussion was for a supper, but that can be changed to any of the three that you'd like, whether it be a lunch or a breakfast. In my memo, it shows that the breakdown for the supper, the $2,500 of 70 delegates is $35.71 per plate. If it's a lunch at $1,800 is $25.71 per plate, and a breakfast at $1,100 is $15.71 per plate. So there is the recommendation for the supper that's forth, but if council would like to amend on the spot, the resolution can be amended to change whichever level of sponsorship council wants.
Thank you. Councillor Chong is mover.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will support this initiative because it's the first time in our community to support the senior citizen. I'm not a member of the council, so I support that.
Thank you, Councillor Lumber.
I like the sports resolution as well. You know, these are the folks that help build our city. And it's also we're entertaining other seniors that come up here or that will be here. And I think that's a great idea. We support them and thank them for what they've done.
Thank you. Councillor McCarter.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I support this. I'm not part of the seniors group too, but it's where I'm continuously with the elders, helping the elders, cooking for the elders or baking for the elders. That's what I say with the people in Thompson. It's no, you're welcome to come to help, and it doesn't matter who, but there's a lot of help that's needed all the time from the people, and then if you have the time, come. Okay.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Thanks, Mayor Smoke. I'm gonna support this resolution, but I'm thinking maybe Councilor McIver should be the one cooking.
Anyone else? Councillor Wong.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't think they're asking for volunteer. I think they want to ask us what package we want to do, right? So have we picked the package yet? So I know we support, but are we support the whole thing? Or we support just one dinner or one lunch or two lunch?
2,500 is supporting a dinner.
Yes.
Okay, one dinner.
They sent us a breakdown. It was in our package last time of what everything is. So this basically supports one dinner. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm in favor of supporting a dinner for 2,500 people.
Okay. Definitely this will bring more people to our area, and our elders will learn some of the different things that happen down south in other areas also to where we can advocate. And it's better if you get groups together advocating when they go to the government. Even just something like our foot care, we basically got the whole province pushing for foot care, so this is just one more thing that brings them all together. Councillor Wong.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can we up more than $2,500? Can we do a bit more?
I'm comfortable with the 2,500. I think if we wanted to do more, maybe you yourself should make a private donation.
Well, because we're gonna have a lot of surplus at the end, why not do a bit more?
But they've requested, I think they'll be very happy if we give the 2,500 and we can go from there. If something happens, if we're short down the line, they could come back and see us possibly.
Thank you.
Anyway, I'm gonna call for the question. All those in favor of the $2,500? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Uh, 6.7 is a resolution to authorize the city manager to support the induction of Thompson curling leader Sam Antilla. Resolution 2024-059, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Landmark. Whereas council reviewed a request for sponsorship for the induction of Sam Antilla as a builder into the Manitoba Curling Hall of Fame. And whereas this induction is a proud moment for the city of Thompson and the Thompson curling community, as Mr. Antilla has served well in addition to his broader province and national contributions. Now therefore be it resolved that the city manager be authorized to contribute $600 to sponsor Sam Antilla's induction as builder into Manitoba's Curling Hall of Fame. And be it further resolved that the cost be borne out of grant to organizations. Administration.
Yeah, so the letter of request was received from the Provincial Curling Hall of Fame, letting council know that Mr. Antilla was being inducted and requesting for a sponsorship of his induction at the ceremony. I believe there are tickets for members of council who might want to attend, I believe for up to 2. But we require a resolution of council to be able to authorize that payment.
Thank you. Councilor Fitzpatrick, who's the mover?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm in support of this, motion that, Sam is certainly a great ambassador for the city of Thompson. He's a great promoter as well as a volunteer in many other sports as well. So I'm, in favor of this motion.
Thank you. Any other council members? Councilor Dunbar.
Yeah, I'm happy to support this resolution. Sam done some great things for curling in Manitoba and for other sports. And I hope that everybody reads the write-up about why he's being inducted in the Hall of Fame. As a curler, I witnessed and privy to some of the work that he's done. Really appreciate it. It's amazing that like his involvement with Curl Canada and like even with the Olympic teams and groups that we've sent as a country, as a province. It's amazing, like he's been involved with like the reason why there's changes in the brooms, how fast things go, and some of the amazing work that's been done with curling. Anyway, I'd be happy to.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, Sam has definitely been at our doorstep here advocating for curling and all sports in Thompson. That so definitely this is an honor to have one of our longtime residents be honored. Coastal One, sorry, didn't see your hand.
Yeah, so the package we are picking is $600, right?
Yes.
So that means there's a 2 ticket come with it, right?
Yes.
So is there any way that who will go in for that event?
I was hoping to go and if
Okay,
there's.
you'll be down there anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's another one?
We had sort of was like that, if anybody knows are going to be in Winnipeg. Deputy Mayor Valentino had said she may have some meetings down there at the same time. Councilor Marcus, fellow curler and that, they have been down there. So
The reason I'm asking, I don't want to waste the ticket. I don't care whoever go as long as you use it. So
then we
so
could
you
pick a-
four
we
of you
could
have
pick
to
a former Thompsonite.
four of you have to fight them out yourself. I'm not gonna be there anyway. Thank you.
And there's also a former Thompson resident, Scott Cripps, is also on the agenda that night for being nominated into the Hall of Fame. Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Six point eight is a resolution to ratify the Thompson Public Library Board. Resolution 2024-060, moved by Councilor Chong, second by Deputy Mayor Valentino. Be it resolved that council ratify the board members to the Thompson Public Library Board for 2024 as follows. Councilor Joyce McIver, Kathy Nazio, Alicia Bedford, Geraldine Dixon, Carol Toronto, Fran Hartog, and Armit Schnell. Administration.
This is a requirement of the Public Libraries Act that every year a resolution be passed endorsing the board and appointing one member of council to the board. So it's a housekeeping item for council to vote on tonight.
Thank you. Councilor Chong, any comments?
I think Councilor McIver is the ideal candidate for this position. So I support that.
Thank you. Any other comments from council? No, thank you, Councillor McIver, for coming forward. Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. I'll call for adjournment. Deputy Mayor Valentino, Councillor Fitzpatrick, all in favor?